Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to begin our look at the guitar solo, Kirk Hammett's solo in Ride the Lightning. So I'm just going to play up to the part where I just did. So that's kind of the slower section, not slower guitar-wise really, just kind of a slow rhythm. Then it goes into a double time section with all those cool arpeggios, which we're going to take a look at in the next lesson. So this one we're just going to do what I just played there. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with this tapping lick. Now what he does is he taps with his middle finger at the 12th fret on the G, pulls off to 9, and then pulls off to 5. So it's just a 3-note pattern repeated. And then he ends it with a tap, just a single tap there at the 14th fret. So we have this. Then you play this next phrase. All right, so that's a bend at the 10th fret on the B, a couple bends actually. Then 10, 8, 7. Then 7, 8. Then a quick little trip. So quick little trill there between 7 and 8. Then 9 to 7 on the G. Back over to 9 on the D. And back to the G string, hit 7 a couple times and slide it up to the 9th fret. Like this. Alright, now we have octaves. We're gonna go from now all the octaves are just on the based off the 5th string. So the 5th fret here and the 7th on the D with that middle D string muted. I'm sure you know how to play an octave if you're trying to learn this solo, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. We're going to have click 5, slide to 7, pick 7, slide to 9, hit 9 twice, slide to 10, hit 10 twice, and then slide to 12. So we have this. And when you get here, we'll go back to hitting just once. You get to 12, so you slide, hit it, slide down to 10, hit that, slide back to 12, hit that, slide to 14, pick that, slide back down to 12. So it's kind of going back and forth. We have this. Then you hit that and go back to 14. Then we just keep going straight up here, hit it again, slide to 15, hit that, slide to 17, hit that, slide to 19. So you can see I'm just, whatever the first finger's at is what I'm calling that. That's the position that is, that's the fret I'm calling out. So we have this. From there, all right, so we have this, 17 on the D, 19, slide to 20. Now we're way up here. So that's 19 on the D, 17, 19 on the G. Bend that 19, bend and release, pull off to 17. Then pick 19, 17 again, over to 21 there. I'm here between the 19 and the 21st fret. It's calling out the wrong fret there. So we have this. We're going to end it with the 19 on the D, 17 back on the G. Then into this. All right, so that's a bend on the 19, the G, roll to this, bend on the 21, then 19 on the B to 19 on the high E, bend at the 22nd fret on the B string, then release that, pull off to 17, 22nd fret bend on the high E string, Then just gonna 20 to 17 a couple times, then 20 on the B string, back to 17 on the high E string. So we have this. End it there with a bend at the 22nd fret on the B. So all together slowly. All right, the next phrase sounds like this. All right, so really going across it. All right, so we're going to start with 17 and sliding into the 17 on the B over to 14 on the high E. Now we have this lick. We're going to repeat twice. It's pulling off 17 to 14 on the high E over to 17 on the B string. I use that my second finger there, and so does Kirk. And then back to the 14th fret on the high E. So repeat that twice. From there, we're going to do a bend at the 16th fret on the G string, over to the 14th fret on the B, and then we're going to pull off 17, 14 on the B, same thing on the high E, and then back to the B string, same thing. So we have this all together. Now we're back to that bend at the 16th fret on the G, over the 14th fret on the B, and pull off 17 to 14. And then we have this, which is pulling off 16 to 14 on the G, 16 on the D, back to the 14 on the G, then pull off that 16 to 14 again, and this time do both 16 to 14 on the D string. So far what we have here. All right, we're going to end this with 16 on the A, 14 on the D, and pull off 16 to 14 on the D. Back to a pull off here on the 16, 14 on the A. Down to the 12th fret. Then we're going to start working our way back up. A couple of pull offs between 14 and 12 on the A. Then slide 14 to 16 on that A. And from there, we're going to kind of ascend 14, 16 on the D, back to 14, 16 on the G, and then a quick little pull off between 16 and 14, back to 16 on the D. So we have this. Then hammer 14, 16 on the G, and then back to 14. So it's a lot of notes there. Let me just play through the whole phrase nice and slow so you just kind of follow along. All right, from there we have this. All right, that one's pretty fun. So we're going to start here with... so it sounds like to me, so he starts with a 16 on the G, 14 on the B. So some bends there at the 17th fret on the B string. The last one's a bend and release, 14 on the B, and then sounds like he does that. Does a bend at 17 on high E, then picks it normal, back to the bend, back to normal. All right, from there we have the fast lick, which is 17, 14 on the high E. Oh, sorry. Pick that and then pull that off. Then over to 17 on the B, 14 on the high E. So we have this. Then pull off 17 to 14 again on the high E. And play 17, 14 on the B. So far. the whole set bend of the 16th on the G, back to that 14 on the B, then pull off 17, 14. All right, now 16, 14 on the G, to 16 on the D, back to 14 on the G. So all together there. All right, and now we have those bends that end it. All right, that's a bend of the 16th on the G. Half step bend now the 14th. Over to 16 on the D. All right, now we finally have it's a fast lick, but it's a repeated lick, so it's not that hard to get down. It sounds like this. All right, so that's sliding in once again to this 17th fret, and then over to the 14 on the high E. So those are just two little starter notes. And then we actually have the pattern. So that is, it's basically two groups of 16th notes. That's pulling off 17 to 14 on the high E. Now Kirk Hammett comes and grabs this with his second finger. You can use your third finger if you want. To the 17th fret on the B, back to 17 on the high E. So we have this, 14 on the high E. So we have this. Then the second half of the lick is going to pull off 17 to 14 on the high E, and then 19 to 14. So we have this. So you should repeat that lick 4 times. We can finger it like he does. So you just do it 4 times there. That's a fun one as soon as you get up to speed. All right, from there we have triplets that sound like this. All right, so that slows down a little bit. It's pulling off 17 to 14 on the high E string to 17 on the B. So there's little 3-note groups here, so just look at it like that. There's the first 3-note group. The second 3-note group is playing 14 on the high E, then pull off 17 to 14 on the B. So we have this. All together. I'm going to continue that pattern now, pulling off 17 to 14 on the B, over to 16 on the G. And now 14 for the next group of 3, 14 on the B, and then pulling off 16, 14 on the G. So it's really the same pattern being taken down the scale. All right, now we basically starts continuing the pattern again, pulling off 16 to 14 on the G, over to 14 on the D. Then we just come back here and we end the phrase. So it goes 14, 16 on the D, a G string, over to 14 on the D. So we have this all together. All right, now we just go straight up like this. All right, so that's going straight up. 14, 16 on the D, 14, 16 on the G, 14, 15 on the B, quick little trill, back to the 16 on the G, then come back going ascending through the scale again, 14, 15, 17 to 14 on the high E. So far we have this. Then a quick little pull off between 15 and 14 on the high E string. All right, and now you're going to go back down to the B string, go descending those same 3 notes we played earlier. 17, 15, 14, back up, 15, 17. All right, so those are mostly 8th notes with just a couple of those little trills thrown in. So we have this. All right, and now we get to some triplets ascending to end this section of the solo. Well, getting close to the end of this section. It looks like this. So that's 14, 15, 17. Then 15, 17, 19. 17, 19, 20. 19, 20, 22. And then bend that 22 a few times. All right, now we have this last final fast lick that descends down the E string. Sounds like this. All right, so but once again, we have a pattern here. He just kind of takes down the string, staying within the scale. It's going to start with 2 notes just to lead into it. So that's the 17 and the 19. All right, and then we have the pattern. This is a 4-note pattern. So you're going to play 21, 19, 17, shift down to 15. So it's a 4-note pattern. So down, up, down, up. Now we're going to do the same thing, staying on the scale, just sequencing through the scale. 19, 17, 15, this time move down to 14. So we have this. From there, you're going to continue the same pattern. 17, 15, 14, move down to 12 for the last note. So we have this. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to do the same pattern, but the last note's going to ascend to the scale. So we're going to go 15, 14, 12, back to that 14. You're going to move the first finger up instead of down. All right, so from there we're going to start descending the pattern again with the same one we just did. 17, 15, 14, down to 12. Then 15, 14, 12, down to 10. 14, 12, 10, down to 8. And then 12, 10, 8, 7, down to 7. And you're going to grab this power chord here at the 8th fret of the A string. So he kind of has the bar depressed before he comes in. He plays that power chord and just... But coming out of that, remember the first 2 notes. All right, and that takes us into the double time section, which we'll take a look at in the next lesson.